Hey everyone, welcome to Men's Essentials. Brio sent me this trimmer along with a few other blades and accessories that they have. So this is the Brio Beardscape version 2. They do have version 1, or what they call the V1 and the V2. This is the V2. And they sent me this along with all the other accessories just so that I would test out. So I'm going to be as honest as I can be. They sent me this blade box that's basically a travel case for the 2 extra blades that you can buy for the trimmer. It is a very good looking box and it seems like it'll hold the blades really well. Included with the trimmer are 5 different guards, a brush to clean your trimmer, and some oil. They do mention to never rinse this trimmer with water, and that if you feel like you need to clean the trimmer or if it has too much hair in it, to just use the brush that they included. One cool function with the trimmer too is that for every hour that you use the trimmer, it's gonna notify you when you need to oil the blade. The small screen on the trimmer is gonna flash this picture with oil, and that means that it's time to oil the blade. I think it's just what they recommend is for every hour of use. Clean it with the brush and put a couple drops of oil in there and then let it run. I think this is just to make sure that your trimmer works perfectly every time. My first impression with this Beardscape V2 trimmer, I was very impressed, to be honest with you. I like how it feels in your hand. It feels sturdy. It doesn't feel cheap or flimsy. The plastic seems like it's high quality. It's got an overall nice heft to it, which, just gives it a higher quality feel. I really like these textured side panels it's got. It also has some ridges on the back part of the trimmer, which will make it easier to hold. The 2 other blades that they sent me don't automatically come with a trimmer though. One of the blades is the zero blade, and then there's a body blade assembly. The zero blade is meant for shaping your beard if you want to, or cutting your hair a lot shorter. And then the body blade is for when you're trimming your body hair. I'm going to talk more about those in detail, but that is one cool thing with this trimmer is that you can switch out the blades. On the trimmer itself, there is a dial that's going to let you adjust the length on the trimmer. But then besides that, it came with different size guards, so you can get an even better and closer adjustment, or more accurate, depending on how long you want your beard to be. The range of adjustments that you can make and set this trimmer to is pretty cool. What I'm basically trying to say is that this is going to give you more control about how long you want your beard to be. Other trimmers don't do that. They'll just send you 1 or 2 guards that let you set it to a certain length. Sometimes none of those guards really give you the length that you want. I've been using the Manscaped beard hedger over the last year. So this video won't be like a direct comparison to that trimmer, but I am going to mention it in this video just to give you guys more information. And one of the best features with this Brio trimmer that I want to highlight is that the power button actually locks in order to prevent this trimmer from turning on by itself. So if you put it in your toiletry bag when you're traveling, things get shuffled around in there, and sometimes the power button on a trimmer like this could get set to turn on and it'll waste down your battery, right? So what you do is press and hold the power button for 5 seconds, and that will unlock the trimmer. And if you keep pressing that button, the trimmer is not going to turn on. The only thing that'll happen is that the little screen down here with the information, which I'm going to cover in a minute too, that screen is going to turn on, but the trimmer won't activate. In order for the trimmer to activate, you just have to press the button again. Now on the little screen itself, it's going to tell you what length you have the guard set to, how many RPMs the trimmer is set to, and how much battery life is left. It has 2 minus and plus buttons underneath the power button, and those are used to adjust how many RPMs or how fast you want your trimmer to work. The lower the RPMs that you have it set to, the longer that the battery is gonna last. And then if you raise the RPMs, obviously the battery will wear down faster. And then in order to adjust the length of the blade, the dial above the power button has a button itself that you push down, and then you can move that dial up or down to adjust it to whatever length you want. Now with that dial, I did have some difficulty whenever I wanted to push the dial up. I had to press that small button on the dial and then push the dial up. That small button wasn't the easiest to push down with my fat thumbs. I used my thumbnail from one hand and then pushed up the dial with my other thumb. But then to get the dial back down, it was easier to push the button in and push the dial down just with one thumb. I do really like it that they show you how much battery life is left on the trimmer. I think that's a very handy feature. But that brings me to the next point. This trimmer does come with a base and a charging cable. Now the good thing with charging this trimmer, they send you a cable that you can plug straight into this trimmer, or you can plug the cable into a base that will charge the trimmer for you, so you can just set the trimmer in there. It fits really well. But whenever you travel, you probably don't want to take that base with you, so you can just take the cable. So like I already mentioned with this trimmer, there are 3 different blades that you can use. One is for trimming your body hair, and then the main one for your beard, and then that 0 blade. And this brings one obvious benefit over Manscaped. With this trimmer, if you want to trim your body hair or your beard hair, all you have to do is switch out the blades. On the other hand, with Manscaped or any other brand of trimmers, you're gonna have to buy a separate trimmer. Now, switching out those blades was a little bit difficult at first. They do have some videos on how to do it on their website. I'm going to post their website in the description, and I'll put it on the screen too, just so you guys can go there and see how to switch those blades out. I did get used to changing the blades out very quickly. Now, I know some people do use the same trimmer for their body and their beard, which is totally fine, but it is nice to know that you can switch the blades out, and it might be more hygienic. But having a trimmer like this where all you have to do is switch out the blades is gonna save space. So when you wanna take the blade off, you push up from the side where the power button is. I hope that makes sense. I'm gonna show it in the video. You just push up on the blade from that side, and it should come out pretty easily. And then when you put a blade back into the trimmer, you just want to make sure that the 2 teeth on the blade are under the metal hooks on the trimmer. I'm going to show that too. They do have videos about all of this on their website, so if you think I did a bad job of explaining that or showing it, go to their website and watch how to do it. But now let's move on to each one of the blades and how they performed. So I first want to talk about the main blade for trimming your beard. They call it their Beardscape standard blade. The guard that I used to trim my beard was the one that has a 9mm side and a 12mm side. I used the 9mm side for this trim. So the overall trim was excellent. It was very smooth. I did have the trimmer set to the fastest setting, which is 7,000 RPMs. Now, personally, I think I need that because I have very thick hair and it's coarse on my beard. So I just want to be able to effectively trim my beard hair without any tugging or pulling. That's one good thing about being able to adjust the speed of the blade movement. With the Manscaped trimmer, you can't do that. So yeah, overall an excellent trim. I tried the 9mm guard at first just to see how short it would trim it. It wasn't as short as I thought it was gonna be, but I think it was a good length to start out with on my beard. If my beard hairs were any longer, I probably would have used a guard with a longer setting. I felt like my beard wasn't as short as I wanted it to be, so I ended up switching to the 4mm guard that has a 5mm setting on the other side, and that was actually a lot shorter than I expected. I probably should have used the 5mm side, or there's also a 3 and 6mm guard combination where I could have used the 6mm guard. So I want to move on to the 0 blade next and cover that quickly. Alright guys, so for this 0 blade, it's a 2mm stainless steel blade that's perfect for super close cuts, creating tight lines and cleaning up mustaches. That's what they mentioned on the website. What I used it for was to clean up the bottom part of my beard towards the lower part of my neck. I ended up having to re-record that, even though the hairs on that part of my neck weren't as long. It still did a really good job of cutting them short. And I do want to highlight too that they mention on the website and in their instructional videos that you want to be very gentle with this 0 blade. You don't want to be aggressive because it's really meant just to cut, the hairs really short and close to your skin. So with something like this, there is the potential of getting nicks or cuts, but I got absolutely 0 nicks, 0 cuts. Now, I don't have sensitive skin, so I never get red spots or irritation when I shave or when I trim like this at all. If you do have sensitive skin, if you're really careful, I don't think it will matter. I also use the zero blade to trim down my cheek hairs right before shaving, just to try to get those hairs down as short as possible. Overall, I was very happy with the zero blade. But let's move on and talk about the body blade assembly next. So I did test out the body blade on various parts of my body, so the quality of the trim with the body blade was about the same as other trimmers that I've tested out. I've never actually used the Manscaped body trimmer, so I don't know how well they do, but it did do a good job of cutting the hair close. And then they mentioned on the website that you can pair it with the 1 to 2 millimeter guard. So overall with the body trimmer, I was very happy. So after giving you all of the information about this trimmer, I would give this trimmer a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Out of all the trimmers I've used, this is the best one. And I mean, I don't think it's the perfect trimmer. I don't know if the perfect trimmer exists. The one thing I will say is that I'm not sure if you totally need the zero blade and a regular blade for this trimmer. It's nice to have the zero blade to trim down hairs very short and to shape your beard or your mustache if you want to do that. But ultimately, I don't know if that's necessary. The regular blade that comes with this, I think, will do a really good job of trimming down your hairs very short. And both the body blade and the regular beard trimmer blade are $15. So it's not like you're gonna spend an exorbitant amount to get an extra blade. If you do want the zero blade for a shorter trim, that one is gonna cost $25. But like I said, I don't think that one's totally necessary. But again, guys, overall, I'm very happy. Let me know what you think in the comments if you've tried this one. Let me know what experience you've had with it. Also, if you're new to my channel, like and subscribe. I make videos about men's essential products and accessories. So things like this trimmer, other grooming products like shaving products, Dr. Squatch and Duke Cannon, watches, sunglasses, just anything else that I think is an essential item for men. Like and subscribe. Have a great day. I'll talk to you next time.